Hi everybody, it's Dante here. We're going to step into a channeling with the Pleiadian Council today, but before I do that, I want to share a couple of quick announcements. The channeling course is beginning on May 28th, and it's a 3-month container with an intimate group of people to learn how to channel your guides and practice intuitive healing modalities so you can support others in their healing and ascension process, as well as double down on your own efforts to be more connected and more in tune intuitively in your life. And I'm really excited because this group in particular is very international and very high frequency already, with a lot of those gifts already activated. And this course has been running for 3 years, so it's a really amazing opportunity. You can find more on my website. And also, the guidebook to Living Love on Earth, is available on the website, dantestarshine.com. It's an amazing book. It's really long. It has so much information on any topic that you could imagine related to ET contact and spiritual growth and our planet in its relationship with all of the other ET worlds out there. So take a look and be a part of our world's evolution by tuning into this information. Of course, I'm available for private sessions and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to waste too much time on all of these things, but hey, I gotta do it. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to connect with you personally and support you if that is what you are drawn to. Okay, let's start. Hello, and we say good day to all of you. As the Pleiadian Council, we speak on behalf of the Galactic Alliance, supporting your world in this process you may call Ascension. Again, thanking you for allowing these transmissions to take place, for it is also a gift to us and allows both you and ourselves to expand into greater connection to Source, and for this we are deeply appreciative. So, we want to speak about the idea of positive and negative energy today at your time, and hope to shine a light for you in supporting you in understanding what is the difference between a positively or negatively oriented being, whether they are in spirit form only or if they exist within a human body. All beings are oriented primarily in one way, though of course they may have a mixed orientation with many different belief systems and mental patterns with different motivations and different intentions that create a mixed sort of energy. In general, you can understand the predominant focus of any given being by tuning into your intuition. And we remind you that what we say about intuition so much has to do with your heart. Intuition can connect with some of the psychic and visionary abilities that connect with your head and your third eye and crown chakras to some extent. Yet it is your heart that tells you the emotional energy signature of any being or situation that you connect with. Of course, your own belief systems do influence how this energy is perceived to some extent. Though when you connect with another, you will feel varying degrees of love or fear. And this love and fear is what primarily determines whether or not the energy you're interacting with is positive or negative. Some of you may intend to reach out to these higher dimensional planes of existence. That is where beings like ourselves come to connect with you. As we have explained, and many others share, it is not so difficult to actually connect at these higher vibrational levels. All you have to do is tune your consciousness in through processes like meditation, psychic, visionary work, shamanic journeying, anything that slows your focus and draws your attention inwards and brings you to tune into your intuitive functions and your imagination together, is a way that you can interact with spirit guides. What some of you don't always remember is that just because these beings are higher dimensional does not always mean that they are always positive. When you connect beyond, you're opening to energies from other planes of reality. This takes place through connecting with the energy of higher dimensions. This fourth dimension is a bridge dimension between the third dimension of physical reality and the fifth dimension of a quasi-physical reality. This fifth dimensional energy is timeless, and it is best expressed and experienced as unconditional love. However, this fourth dimension, that is the transition between them, can have many different beings with many different mixed intentions. This is often described as an astral plane. And there can be love-based astral entities, or there can be fear-based astral entities. When you open up, you might meet beings through visions, or you might hear voices, or you might feel their energy present. It is always important to ask these beings particular questions. The first question that would be very helpful to ask is if you are of the light. Ask the being if they are of the light. All beings do essentially come from the light of Source. Though some beings attempt to conceal and disconnect from Source. They are built of the same energy, yet they operate from the belief that it is better to be totally independent from Source and to take in energy from the other seemingly separate beings around them. When you connect with Source energy, you experience states of oneness. And when you experience these great states of oneness, you open up to the understanding that you're not separate from the world around you. It takes love to be able to dissolve these barriers. However, these negative entities do not wish to experience that love that erases or changes, at least, their sense of self. They want to maintain that false notion of being totally independent and totally self-oriented, when this is not the nature of reality. And thus, they operate under this illusion and this sense of fear that comes from disconnecting from Source and disconnecting from that sense of all oneness and interconnectedness. Doing this feeds ego. Ego is not necessarily bad, because you all need to have an ego, which really means simply a sense of self, a sense of who you are, a sense of identity, to be able to function in your world. Though the ego can be overdeveloped, and it can become so much a dominating force in one's energy, that they create senses of superiority or inferiority. Their sense of self is such that I am better than everyone else. I am more deserving than everyone else. Or perhaps the opposite, that I am inferior and not deserving. And sometimes this over-energized ego can simultaneously hold both of these notions of superiority and inferiority. A balanced ego understands oneself as part of the universe. The balanced ego understands that one may have many qualities and play many roles and have many preferences, yet is still a part of the same universe and is subject to the same laws of the universe and the same experiences of karma and cause and effect that are energetic laws of the universe. Whereas these beings who are negatively oriented, fear-based, and have this over-strengthened ego, wish to bypass in some way the laws of the universe, but this is impossible. The karma always will catch up to them. They will do everything they can to escape it and bring others to experience some of the consequences of their own karma. And this is why they attempt to trick. These negative beings fear so much their own loss of both identity and their loss of self. And so some of these beings that do not have bodies anymore might have been disincarnate, meaning they died on a physical plane and maintained this sense of self and identity as a soul, a disembodied soul, and all of their interactions on that astral plane are essentially attempts at perpetuating themselves and their own sense of self. Other of these sorts of negative entities never incarnated in the first place. But there are much fewer of these. And these, in a way, serve to keep a karmic balance. For the most part, the negative entities that you experience on the astral plane are these sort of leftovers or remnants that come from other planes of existence and are disincarnate. In other rare instances, the negative beings may be projecting astrally, meaning they do exist as physical beings on some plane, but they project their astral body outwards to interact with other dimensions. Now, what's first of all most important for you to understand about such beings is that because you exist in physical reality, you have more power in physical reality. Non-physical beings do not have the power to influence physical reality unless you grant them the permission to do so. You grant them the permission to access physical reality only by giving them permission to access your energy. They may trick you into giving permission by telling you all sorts of things, such as they are going to give you incredible powers, such as they are going to help you see things that you cannot see now, such as they need your help, or that they will help you in exchange, and so on and so forth. These beings will often try to plead with you and play with you until you give them some access to your energy. But when you say no and you command that they leave, they have to do so. When you are in great states of fear, it is more difficult for these commands to work. And some of you have insisted and said, I am truly powerless, because no matter how many times I tell these voices and these energies to go away, they do not do so. But what you don't understand is that if they're not going away, you're still giving them some energy of fear. Fear is like food. Emotions are fuel. Whether they are positive or negative emotions, the intensity of the feeling state is a sort of energetic charge that can be used as energy for non-physical beings. Positively oriented beings are based in love, and they take love energy as fuel, but they are not taking this energy from you. They are simultaneously giving their own energy of love, and this unconditional love builds and amplifies itself. Negative beings feed on the energy of fear, and they sap your life force energy by instilling fear within you so that they can feed off of this fear. And so all of these negative beings will attempt to trick you into maintaining a sense of fear, maintaining some sense that you are not safe, maintaining some sense that you need, perhaps, them to support you in some way. And this sense of fear will be fuel for them to stick around. They might tell you things about them that make them seem more powerful than they are. And when you believe this and you feel that energy of fear, it becomes like, yes, fuel for them, but it also is like bait for them that draws them back onto you. So you have to be able to balance your emotional body to a place where you feel trust and contentment and hope and ease in your being. And as you do that, these beings will not have anything that they can do to you. Because only when you are feeling fear can they take that energy from you and use it to strengthen themselves and play games with you. When you return to the energy of love, they become powerless. And you will find that when you are able to radiate loving energies, these beings will surely dissipate, and they will not be able to get near you. In a sense, you will find that when you radiate the energy of unconditional love, you will understand that they are deeply afraid, and their fear is motivating them to do what they're doing. Again, the fear that is the basis of these negative energies is the fear of a loss of sense of self. This loss of sense of self naturally happens when you connect with source energy. You don't necessarily lose remembrance of who you are, but you come to understand that you are a part of a much bigger framework of reality that is interconnected, and that you are responsible for your actions. And these laws of karma will impact you in many ways. And that might seem like it should inspire responsibility, and it does, but responsibility can be a very positive thing. And once you really understand what responsibility is, it will always be a very positive thing. This understanding of interconnection will inspire you to remember to choose love always, because you will know that every choice to maintain the frequency of love will amplify your own love and the love in the universe. All that you do in love will bring love back onto you. But nonetheless, these beings who are afraid are in ignorance to all of these understandings. And you are best to understand these laws of reality and the metaphysical ways of the universe, because when you are aware these beings cannot influence you. It is only by tempting you into states of ignorance that these beings can actually convince you of anything and influence you in any negative way. So, open yourself to that love. And remember that the negativity and the fear is illusionary. Some understanding of fundamental laws of reality can be helpful in this. The most fundamental law is all you really need, and that is all is one and the one is in all. This is oneness. And this also implies that you are one with this negative energy before you. It is through your own vibration of fear that you have become a resonant match with such an entity. If you change your vibration into love, you will have a different resonant match. Regardless of what you're experiencing right here and now, oneness is the nature of reality. And understanding this will help you to see through any of the illusions that they might try to trick you into. These beings are intelligent and they can witness and understand your own emotional energy. So they will play into many of your own fears. And that is why doing your shadow work of coming to understand your own negative beliefs and releasing them is very foundational to being able to progress on a spiritual path and in your psychic development. So open yourself. Open your eyes and see, and you cannot be tricked. We might answer briefly, why do such beings exist? And it is because the gift of this reality is free will. And this is a free will to do both positive and negative actions. This free will allows you to make choices in your life, and these choices shape all of reality. This free will is a gift of unconditional love. The love would not be unconditional if you were forced to make always positive choices. And so duality is an aspect of this physical reality that cannot be transcended from within physical reality. It is only when you go beyond into non-physical realities that duality is no longer at play in the same way that it is in your reality. And so this balance between positive and negative and the contrast between these two extremes is in a way necessary for all of the souls to come to understand free will. If you were entirely free from negativity, you would not even exist within physical reality. So anyone who would operate under the thought that they want to be free from all negativity is operating under some level of illusion. Because if you were free from all negativity, you would stop being physical. The belief that you are bound to physical reality is, in a sense, somewhat negative. It creates boundaries, but you all operate under that belief in order to experience this. So, some degree of negative energy is necessary to bind you to the physical plane. So, it is necessary for your physical earth plane to be the learning school that it is, to then have this progression of perhaps incarnating into great negativity to progressively over time and often over incarnation to incarnate into dense fear-based experiences to gradually release that fear and transform it, gaining knowledge to free yourself from ignorance and then evolving into love. And this experience gives great strength to a soul. And understanding the opposites allows you to see through contrast what makes love love and what makes fear fear. If you simply dove right into love, you would not fully understand what love is, because without its opposite, you are not informed to all of the intricacies that make love exactly what it is. And so, while it may seem scary, negative energy is part of Source's plan for all souls who incarnate on all planes to evolve and to return back onto Source consciousness. Remember that that is the name of the game here. That you are Source incarnating into physical planes. To be able to remember that you are Source through shedding layer after layer of ignorance and dissolving those veils, to be able to integrate the energy of your higher self while still maintaining the physical body. That process of spiritual evolution or ascension is available to all of you. Not all souls make the agreement to take that path upon incarnation. If you're watching this video, it is very likely that you have made that choice. Understand that your tribulations and your own moments of ignorance are part of that process. And when you can be self-responsible and accountable and aware of how you engaged in certain ways that brought about certain situations, you are able to integrate your lessons that help you move faster towards the positive polarity and free yourself from the constraints of fear, ignorance, and illusion. Those three things you must see as synonymous and always interconnected. Anything you are fearing, unless it is an immediate threat to your life in the very moment, is almost always an illusion. Even the fear of death is somehow an illusion. We understand that you must protect yourself, and so this biological fight or flight response is necessary to help you in certain situations, but all of the times that that fight or flight response is triggered without an immediate threat to your life, you are operating under some level of illusion. Illusion is always ignorance. Fear is always ignorance. And so, when you are feeling this emotion, ask yourself, what am I not seeing? How can I expand my perspective? How can I see this situation from different angles? How can I play with oppositional beliefs and thought forms to help open my mind and heart to see this for what it really is, instead of becoming trapped by the illusions that are causing me to feel this fear? And as you do this, whatever negativity you encounter can be confronted. Another way of saying this more simply is really to pay attention to the feeling in your heart. If you're meeting any non-physical being, you'll know it's positive because there will be a positive feeling in your heart that creates a warmth of openness and love that ripples through your body. It makes you excited and eager. If a non-physical being or any sort of astral being is interacting with you and it's causing you to feel fear, uncertainty, anxiety, confusion, tightness in your chest, or any of these things, you may know that you're interacting with a negative being. And you can actually understand the same things may be true with human beings as well. You can pay attention to the feelings that arise in your body, and this will inform you as to what energies they may be emitting and how those beings are operating. So pay attention as well at that feeling and somatic level, because that is a level where you have great power to understand exactly what is taking place. We hope this helps you very much in understanding what is really the difference between positive and negative beings and love and fear, and how you may understand that so that you cannot have those sorts of interactions that limit you and hold you back. Our unconditional love to you, and Again, we remind you that love is the basis of reality. And as you return into that vibration of unconditional love, nothing and no one can really harm you. So, we wish you a fantastic rest of your day, and we thank you very much for tuning into this and other transmissions. It opens a bridge between our realities that supports you and ourselves in growing. And this is our highest excitement. Okay, cool. So I hope you liked that video, and I hope that shed some light for you. I'm Dante Starshine. Thanks again for watching. If you go to dantestarshine.com, you can subscribe to the email list where you will get updates about everything that I'm doing and offering, and when there will be monthly live stream channelings, which there is one taking place next week on Wednesday. Thanks so much, and have the most fantastic day.